What's cooler than that?
That they want to hear what Trump has to say, and he has so much influence.
Right.
And when you look at like what Kamala is doing, she's not doing much. Like, she's not going on podcasts and stuff.
Her policies, she's just been saying what Trump has said a couple weeks beforehand. Like, there was a couple examples of it. I don't remember. But there was policies she was, like, coming up with. She's like, yeah, I'm going to do this and this. And Trump literally said it, or somebody said it, like, a couple weeks beforehand.
We just talked about this. Yeah, she has been in office. She's been elected and in office for the past 3 years. And she's done none of the things that she's touting right now that she says she's going to do to help any of the Americans. So it's very obvious. Anybody with half a brain can look at Kamala right now and the campaign trail that she's on and say, well, let's look back at the 3 years that you've been in office and see if you've done anything, right? Everything she's saying that she wants to do right now, they said they were going to do when they were trying to get elected. And for the past 3 years, she's done literally none of it. Border czar being one of the major ones, right, that she was supposed to be in charge of that has fallen completely apart. Our borders are wide open.
Took them forever to even go down there when all this stuff was happening.
So it's very it's very obvious to see politicians will get up there and just say whatever we got to say. It's whatever's going to get the votes, I'll say it. You want another $25,000 per person to buy a house? That's what her thing is now. She wants to offer young people or whoever, we'll give you $25,000 to help you buy a home, right? Well, you know what homeowners are going to do? They're going to increase the cost of their house by $25,000. Okay, this is all going to even itself out. We're not going to this is not the way the economy works. You have to fix the root cause of the problem. You can't just throw money at it. That's not how that works.
Make it worse.
Yeah, you have to fix our economy. You have to bring manufacturing into America. You have to get rid of the illegal immigrants that are working the jobs, that are stealing those jobs from Americans. You have to fix these root problems before you can do anything else. And that's not something that she wants to do. So it's very obvious to look at her and see, oh, you're saying you're doing the politician thing. You're saying whatever you need to say to get elected.
We're just trying to like half-ass it.
100%.
So you guys are younger. What's your view on it?
On what?
What's going on with Trump and Harris?
Well,
I think Kamala's a clown.
Right.
Okay.
Here's a good question to ask younger.
Yeah, we need to ask you guys because you guys are younger. You're the new generation, right? Like you're the ones
Do you
that are
watch the news?
Every once in a while, yeah.
But are you more
I keep
into like
up on
social media?
on
stuff?
social media stuff too.
Yeah.
What do you trust more, social media, like podcasts, or do you trust Fox News, CNN?
I don't trust either of them. I go to multiple sources to make sure my information's correct.
It's incredibly intelligent, right? That's kind of where we're all at right now. You can't trust because they're bought and paid for. COVID showed us that. COVID showed us that our news media, those outlets are bought and paid for by pharmaceutical companies, by politicians, by whatever else. You know, it's all bought and paid for, and they're not reliable sources of information. So you have to become a journalist almost. If you're going to vote in this country anymore, you have to be a journalist yourself. You have to do hours and hours of intensive research.
100%,
and then, even then, you don't know if you're getting AI. You don't know if you're getting... Because the whole internet's fake now. Like, what do you believe anymore? You can't trust the people that are supposed to be giving you fair and honest. And I love how they say that, too, at the beginning. Fair, honest, balanced reporting, right? It's like, and then sponsored by Pfizer. Well, that just ruined that whole entire argument you just threw out there, buddy. So, yeah, it's...
Yeah, who's paying for this? So.
Oh, man. They always say follow the money, right? That's the thing. Follow the money. And it's so terribly true and obvious in politics now.
Another thing people need to pay attention to, even the younger people now, like what's going on, I've noticed, is a lot of bigger companies are getting bought out by other bigger companies. So the whole like monopoly thing that's not supposed to happen is kind of happening. Like Marathon Oil's getting bought out by Conoco.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have one big oil company again. Nabisco bought... I forget what company it was, but it was they do stuff with like Eggo waffles and all this, and so they bought another company that controls a lot of stuff. So a lot of they were always sister companies, right? They broke off anyways. But now they're starting to buy back up their smaller companies and making them one company again. So that's something definitely people need to pay attention closer to.
There are different
because they're going to be a monopoly, and then you're going to start.
There's different rules for the rich, right? This is something we got to understand in this country. There's vastly different rules for the rich because owning monopolies as a business, having monopolies on everything is illegal. That's against the law in this country, but they get away with it. Google's getting away with it. Facebook's getting away with it. Other companies are getting away with. BlackRock is getting away with being a monopoly.
They break off into sister companies.
How do you enforce that, though? How do you stop a monopoly from happening? Make that illegal.
You have to have better lawyers than them. That's the only way to stop it. And they have unlimited amounts of money.
They get away with it because they break off into smaller companies.
But
how would
have other companies
how
that
would
say
the
are
government
competing,
enforce
right?
that? How would the government enforce
You
that?
wouldn't. Because these people donate to your campaigns, right? Yeah.
They
people
pay
that
for
are
them.
right.
Money buys anything.
100%. These people are bought and paid for by these massive companies that have these monopolies.
The only way it changes, like other smaller companies, the people have to change it.
The rich make the rules. That's what we all need to understand. The rich make the rules, and they do not abide by the rules. Because we allow them to, though. Right. Well, what are you going to do? You got a good lawyer?
You don't need a lawyer.
Yeah, you do.
You don't.
At the base of every problem in this country is the basis of every problem. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but peacefully, in order to enact change peacefully, you're gonna need a good lawyer.
You can make it peacefully.
If you have a company that big though, and it's a monopoly, it's not just one person that runs the whole show. You're not gonna do anything by killing one
hundreds
person.
of them.
Yes.
There's so many layers.
Yes.
You want to change stuff? Everybody needs to save a bunch of money, and everybody just needs to quit working for like a month.
Yeah, but we can't afford to, right? That's the thing. Everybody can't afford.
So you got to bite the bullet, dude. Struggle for a little bit.
If only Americans come together like that.
That's all it would take.
You know what's a great example of the rich controlling things? I went golfing the other day, right? Golfing. Mm-hmm. Golfing you would consider like kind of a rich man's activity, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It cost me a pretty penny to rent a golf cart and some clubs because I don't golf.
You feel superior, right?
I went with some boys. Yeah, I put on my nice pants and I was driving around with this golf cart. Guess what? There's girls driving around on golf carts bringing you beer, right? And I'm driving a golf cart. She brings me beer. I asked her, I said, can I drink and drive on this course? She was like, oh, yeah, get hammered, drive. I was like, what? What are you talking about? The weirdest thing ever. She brought us beer. I'm cracking them as I'm driving this golf cart around the course, flying, hauling ass, drinking beer, driving. Only on a golf course, right?
It's legal.
It's legal. You know why? Because the rich people allow it. Okay? If golf was a poor person activity, guaranteed, somebody would come up with a law that would eliminate, there's no beer served on the golf course because you guys are driving these carts around and you can't be driving drunk. That's a DUI, buddy. You can't even ride a bicycle. You can't even ride a bicycle
whoever
through
owns
town
the business
drunk.
can pay them, right? You got money going to something.
You know, if you ride a bicycle through downtown with a beer in your hand, you'll get a DUI and your license taken away. But I can go on a golf course and get hammered, blackout drunk, and drive that golf cart all around. You know why? Because rich people say, we want to have our beer on the golf course. We'll allow it. Right?
So the second you leave the course and you head onto like a street or sidewalk,
DUI. DUI, son.
So is that any vehicle that has like a wheels, like anything, like a scooter even?
On a golf course?
No, like
anything. You can ride a horse downtown.
You get in trouble for walking downtown.
If you hop on a horse.
If you're doing it.
Oh, yeah.
There's people that gotten arrested on them electric scooters too for driving them drunk.
Oh, yeah. It's because it's not an activity that rich people will allow you to do. And you know what the root cause of all that is? It's the laws. They're in charge of making the laws, right? Legal system, lawyers, judges. It all ties back together. The legal system in this country is running everything. If you get to the root of it, huh?
You need a real life Batman.
I guess.
The only thing that's going to fix it and reset everything's the Great Depression.
Oh, man.
We need another depression.
It's unfortunate, but I think you're right. The bubble needs to burst, right?
Nothing else. I think, yep. Just need to have a depression, get it over with, and everything will go back to normal.
Right?
That's a terrible thing. Why do we make it so hard on ourselves? You know? It's like, do we have to fall apart? to get
To
back to
rise back up.
reality.
What do you do when you fall down? You get back up.
You land on your back so you can, if you can look up, you can get up. Famous, a famous line by Les Brown. He's a motivational speaker. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to take. I was talking about this with my dad earlier about this country and what it's going to take, and we have this phrase, one nation under God, right? Indivisible, all this nonsense we try to tout. I believe in God. I was raised a Christian. I 100% believe in God. Something everybody needs to understand is God will turn his back on a country if they turn their back on him. And I believe we're to a point in this country where we've completely like all the foundation. It's like, yeah, it's like you set a foundation to your house, right? Great foundation. You set it up, right? And then you throw acid all over it, and then you build a house up on it, right? And that acid slowly starts to erode, and you just allow it to happen. You don't sweep it up, clean it up, and get rid of it, right? That's what we've done. We're allowing the acid of our society to eat up the foundation of this country, and it's destroying us, and we're letting it happen. We're not cleaning up the mess.
Well, it's because everything the government made, right? People lazier, easier.
It's because we allow it.
It's because they make life seem better for the people that can make the change.
When people
right?
start, 100%. When people start talking about minor attracted persons, right? That's something that should be challenged in our society, but we allow it under this false like thing of, oh, we have to be accepting and loving because we have it so easy in America, right? We need to love everybody. We need to be accepting. So we'll let you use your terminology of, oh, you're just a minor attracted person. No, that's something that should be challenged and stopped immediately. That's the acid on the foundation that's killing this country, right? Little things like that. It's like the blurring of the lines. That's a beautiful definition of the blurring of the line.
Well, I just also feel like people are too afraid to confront people nowadays too. They're just so worried about what others will think about them if they say something about it, even if they know it's wrong. Like pedophilia and stuff like that is just blatantly wrong, but they can word it however they want and it will always be wrong, but people just don't say anything because then they might catch, some heat from other people that, yeah, exactly.
Like
it's
a group
true.
that supports them. It's a sickness. We can fix them.
That's true. And it's really unfortunate because the few people who are speaking are so loud and it's so impressive to watch, like Andrew Tate, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Joe Rogan. Who's the other guy? There's so many people who are actually speaking up. Who's the Canadian guy?
Alex Jones, is that him?
No, I know what you're talking about.
Jordan Peterson. That one too, Jordan Peterson. But
there's another guy with that hairdo.
But the problem is slap on a wrist for everything. That's like, you're going to do this? Most countries are like, okay, we're going to shoot you in the kneecaps.
right.
Like, oh, if I do this, like, something very bad's going to happen to me. I should probably not do that.
Yeah, there's no consequences.
No, we're going to throw you in jail or you're going to get a slap on the wrist.
What do we
We're
attribute
going to put
that
you on
to?
probation because you raped a child.
What do we attribute
Like,
no
what?
consequence to? What would you attribute, like, people not having consequences for
They're like,
the chaos
I can
they're
do
creating?
it again.
That's the legal system. The legal system's not punishing people for committing crimes.
No, because then they keep them in a job, right?
Maybe.
Just like a hospital, if you keep making people sick, people are going to keep coming back.
That's true. We don't want
If
to
everybody's
fix you.
healthy, we would never have a job.
Whatever happened to Hammurabi's code of law? Because I feel like that could still work. Like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. If we started instituting like severe punishments for severe crimes, I feel like more people wouldn't do it. I might be wrong. There might be a reason why it stopped working. But I feel like in modern society, more severe types of punishment for crimes would be much more fitting instead of just going to prison and sitting there for 30 years, 40 years. If you did
All that
something vile.
taxpayer money going into it, that's the problem too.
Well,
Now you're
here's
sticking money into all that. You're paying for somebody to sit there for 30 years because they did something wrong.
right.
When you could have just ended his life with $2 bullet.
Right. Here's a question,
Just saying.
right? That you brought up. how do you overcome this, right? So you say eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You do something wrong, we punish you, right? So the problem in America is how do we overcome, oh, you're racist, you're homophobic, you're hateful, right? You're discriminating against me. I can't help it. This is who I am. This is who I was born as, right? If I'm a murderer, we're almost to the point where murderers are going to be accepted in our society because that's their thing.
That's what I identify
Yeah,
as.
I identify as a murderer. This is just the way I was born, right? So how do we combat that is the problem that I think we're having in this country. Nobody wants to be labeled, I'm hateful, right? I'm a bigot. I'm a transphobe. I'm this, I'm that. Nobody wants to accept that label because that's what everybody's going to call you when you tell them, hey, what you're doing is wrong and we're going to make you stop, right? Because of America, this is free, right? And this is who I am. I'm just being my authentic self. So that's what everybody's struggling with right now. Nobody wants to be the bad guy. And it's unfortunate because that's just the way it has to be. Somebody has to be the quote-unquote bad guy. You're not really the bad guy, but in the eyes of everyone who's doing something wrong, you are. And we're now at this place where the lines have been blurred enough to where there are no laws or rules necessarily. Everything's whitewashed where we don't know what's right or wrong anymore. So it's like, he's a pedophile, but isn't that okay? I thought we were accepting them now. So that's where everybody's at right now. It's a terrifying place to be.
People are getting too comfortable. When they don't have something to fight about, they find something to fight about.
100%.
Like something stupid. We need something like to harden some people and stop making them so comfortable and soft.
That's the scary thing about thinking about, we're going to have like a civil war in this country or somebody's going to have to attack us. We're going to have to go back to war with another country for the next 20 years for everybody to be like, oh, listen, maybe we shouldn't worry about something stupid like this.
People have struggle. Yeah.
Struggle does create character in a lot of individuals. It's unfortunate.
You'll thin out the weak people.
What a shame, right? Yeah. What a shame. Things have to be bad to create good people. Like, we can't live in a great society where we have all this beautiful freedom, and we can't get it right. We're going to need the system to blow up again, so we have to struggle and fight and have things terrible, and then we're like, okay, we need to become resilient, and we need to fight for America again because everything went to shit. Yeah. It's one of those things.
We're never going to have a utopia. People are just greedy. And we need to... Never mind.
It's true.
Lost my train of thought.
It's true, though. It's 100% true. It's the greed of people who have the money and have the power.
It's in our nature.
They're destroying this country. And we say, we're allowing it to happen, but we're not really. The people who are making the laws, affecting the laws, the people who are in office, the people who are setting the rules for this country, who are allowing our foreign policy to go to shit.
But supposedly we're
opening our borders.
Voting those people into politics.
Are we? Right? Did we all vote Joe Biden in? That's debatable, isn't it?
No, but our city and state people we did, right?
I don't know. There's a lot of money flowing around. I think it's not voting. I don't think voting's playing much of a part in it anymore. I think you are moved into position by other people of power. I think that's how that works.
Maybe we should just start putting everybody's name in a hat and you just draw a name. I feel like if he doesn't do a good job, somebody else is going in.
Maybe for local principalities, like judges, mayors. Let's do that with the city. I'd be down for that.
Just pick a name out of the hat.
That's stupid though, isn't it?
I mean,
we can't leave that up to chance.
You're leaving it up to chance. If they're doing a bad job, we'll just draw another name.
No, this is a democracy, son.
Just keep knocking them out till somebody you like, right?
I guess. I don't know.
Eventually, somebody good's got to show up, right? Like somebody that's good at what they're doing.
Yeah, maybe 20 years from now when the country's dead. What if you got Tim Walsh? Is that what his name? Waltz? What if you got him drawn out of your hat for the North Dakota governor or whatever? What do you do?
I don't know.
He's going to destroy.
Sure what he's done for Minnesota.
He wants to let in immigrants. He wants to give away your jobs, all that. What do you do then?
Was he governor during the whole
COVID? I think so.
And the Floyd thing?
I think he was.
And what did he do? Nothing.
Well,
he was just absent.
He let his city burn. That's what he did.
He's like, I'm just not going to do anything.
Yeah, he told the police officers, I'm This is not fact. I'm imagining out loud.
Military man didn't send military in.
Oh,
Well, that's
not
weird.
all military men are military men, if you know what I mean. Some of them are straight up bitches. That is a fact. Just because you're in the military does not make you a strong and powerful man.
No.
You can still be a pussy and be in the
Well,
military.
They got their politicians too.
We have transgender military personnel now, right? God damn. It's like a group. Sorry, did you want to
Countries
say
are
something?
seeing us as weak now too because of that. We're promoting all this like LGBTQ in the military and stuff.
Yeah.
Other countries are just laughing at it.
That's true. 100%. Terrifying. I don't know what...
Brad, did you want to say something?
Oh,
Yeah, it's
I don't
something.
know. It's kind of past the point that was being like
Oh,
talked about.
Go for it.
But
Yeah.
kind of what I just wanted to mention too is like, if we look, like history is the best indication of the future, and every single major, big power of the past had a point where they fell too. Like we look at the Aztecs, they were the top of the world, and I think it was the Persians or something that took them over.
Yeah, that's
Then
what
we
I'm
look
saying.
at like Rome and stuff, they were like conquering the world pretty much. Not really, but like Europe and stuff. And they also fell. So if we look at like what happened before they fell, I feel like that's when we can kind of get to see when, I don't know, America would fall, whenever it might be. But one thing I thought was interesting too was like with Rome, when everything was kind of going to shit, they put more and more distractions to distract the people from what was really going on. So they'd put more gladiator games, more holidays. I think at one point there was pretty much a holiday every single day.
Open the Coliseum and the people will come, right?
Exactly. And it distracted them from how bad it really was. And then I don't know how much after that point it fell, but it did fall. And someone else rose on top. And if we look at America, America has been pretty much on top for the longest time since World War I, World War II. I mean, everyone feared us. But I almost feel like there could be a shift coming sometime soon because, like, I kind of fear China with how they're doing the AI and everything like that. And I feel like America's also going down the path of the distractions and everything because every time there's some big story, I feel like there's a bigger story hidden behind that story. It's like a cover-up.
Yeah, can you imagine if all the... Look at a stadium full of football fans throughout the entire football season. Imagine if all those people were paying attention to politics instead of at that game. Or if they were as dedicated to watching who the hell they were voting into office,
Is
paying
it for their
attention.
football team?
Imagine if there was that dedication, to politics. This country, they'd be real scared, And that's an interesting point. I've always wondered that too, because it's like sports. It's like a tool that is already there and they just use it, kind of a thing. It's like like podcasts, people will always put out these videos like, this is what the government's going to do to us. This is how they're going to take us over, right? Well, the government can just watch these videos of us putting our fears out there like that, and they'll say, you know what? That's a great idea. I didn't know. They're like, oh, we could do that, right? Because that's where conspiracies come into play a lot. People will put out their conspiracies. The government's killing children and slitting their throats, babies in the basement, and they're drinking their blood, right? And they're going to take us over by changing everything to AI and putting chips in our arms and this and that. Well, the government's probably looking at that and going,
Yeah, we
you know
should do
what?
that."
That's a great idea. Because we're putting out
They're-
plausible theories, right? Things that are possible. We're putting out a bunch of stuff that's possible. I'm not saying the government hasn't thought of it or people in power haven't already thought of these things, but 100%, if it's out there or if it's an idea that's plausible, they'll use it. So sports, 100%, I'm sure they're using sports to distract
But it's
us.
happened already in
It's in history they
yeah.
used that as that, but also
when
we
they
love
stormed
sports,
when
right?
but even during when Rome, when they were at their front gates, people never thought like it was possible. Like nobody can take us over, nobody can stop us.
Right. Isn't
They
that
made
how-
them think like we're
crazy.
indestructible,
You're
basically.
safe, yeah. People are getting too comfortable here. They feel too safe. That's when things are going to start collapsing.
100%. That's the Trojan horse. And it's here. Our borders are open. We've all gotten drunk and gone to sleep, and the horse is full of immigrants. And they're coming out right now. And that's so unfortunate. I was telling my dad this earlier today. I don't know if it's too late. The horse is in the city already. It's not like we can close the border now and everything's okay. They're in here. We have people that are on the terrorist watch list in the country. And they're claiming they want to destroy America. And we're watching them, right? Okay.
They're on our front gates, right? Holding up flags.
Yeah. What about the balloon that China floated over America recently?
And we're like, oh, they're just protesting.
Bro, it might be too late. The scariest thing about all this is there are people who are in power who are incredibly intelligent, right? You think America could not have gotten to the place that it is right now without super smart people being in power,
Biden was in power.
paying attention to stuff.
He's a smart man.
But here's the thing: you're like,
I'm just saying,
they wouldn't let they wouldn't let everything go to waste, right? The more terrifying thought is, what if they're allowing this to happen for a purpose? You know, they have to be allowing this to happen. You don't just let a bunch of other countries flood.
Maybe they made a deal with the other countries, right? Like, you let us live.
100%.
Give us money.
Terrifying
we'll
is that?
in.
How terrifying is that?
All those billionaires were building bunkers, right?
Yeah.
Recently, that's not that long ago. A bunch of them were. A bunch of people with money are all of a sudden building bunkers.
Yeah, like
and they just kind of swept under the rug.
Mark Zuckerberg built one. I never confirmed that. Was it real? Did he actually build a bunker?
I don't know. We could check it out.
I think
Somebody
he did.
knows.
I think he did.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, you got that kind of money. Why wouldn't you? I would. Just saying.
Here's a better
I would
question.
have one anyways, even if people didn't.
You know, where did he build it at? Do you know? Was it in America? The thing that would terrify me is if he built it out of the United States. If I see a bunch of rich people and they're building bunkers in America, I feel like we have a little more hope that we're going to go. Because if they were building them out of America, that means, oh, we're about to let this place burn. We're getting out, right? They were building the bunkers in America. That means, well, America's kind of a little crazy right now. We still think we can fix it, but just in case, we're going to put a bunker over here in the United States, right?
Maybe
That's what I would think.
Maybe it's a distraction, though. Maybe you think, oh, he's building a bunker in America. He's going to stay here. But really, he's just going to take a plane and fly somewhere else.
Well, what are you, P. Diddy?
Isn't that what the Air Force One is for the president?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a bunker in like a plane.
That plane is crazy, man. I'd love to walk around that damn thing. You got to go?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
This has
hopefully
been,
they keep him, yeah.
I don't know, man. Good luck. I don't know what this is going to turn into as a podcast. We've done 30 minutes, though.
Yeah.
I'll see what happens with the camera stuff and all that. If not, it might just be an audio only, but
That's cool.
we'll see what happens.
It's all good.
Yeah, it was great to have you guys on, man. This is
Great
cool.
being here.
Yeah,
We're going to have you on again. This is Errol's son and his friend. Names? I keep forgetting.
Carter.
Brad. Put the microphone in front of Brad.
Brad.
Brad's been on the show. Carter's been on the show. We're going to have him on again. Subscribe to BTG Squad. This might be on Behind the Glass. We'll see. Anyway, we got videos. They're floating here. They're here. You'll see them. Subscribe to the show. We'll catch you guys in the next video.
Peace.
Peace.
What's cooler than that?
Well, keep it simple, stupid.